The Fog Story. Trouble down below. The New Zealand sewers are designed for human waste, toilet paper, and water used in homes to wash people, our clothes and surfaces, and trade wastes which are mostly water. Nothing else. But that isn't all that's inserted into the sewers. There are also large volumes of fog and sewer litter. Fog. F-O-G stands for fat, oil, and grease. That's what's blocking this manhole. Sewer litter is the bits of rubbish that people put down the toilet, such as cotton bud sticks and the backing strips off things like panty liners, and fully loaded nappies. This is a sewer being choked by a fog build-up. Fog sticks to the walls of your drains and the sewers that they lead onto. In fact, it sticks to everything between your sink and the machines that extract it at the sewage treatment plant, to tree roots, pipes, and pumps. The North American beaver dams up streams with mud and sticks. Humans block up sewers with fog and sewer litter, just the same way, a bit at a time. A lot of money is spent on cleaning out the fog from the pipe walls and the pumps. These are sewers in Reading, England, before and after an expensive clean-up with special industrial water blasters. They are so powerful that they can cut through timber. Men have to go down there to do the job. They blast up the fog, then take the pieces up to the surface for transport to the landfill. A sewer in London blocked up for a distance of 1 kilometre. It took 10 men 3 months to clear it, and cost £250,000. Fog has to come from somewhere. All places where food is prepared, including cafes and restaurants, are regulated, and must have devices to capture fog, called grease traps. They must be kept in good order, and they can sell the captured goo. Some rogue restaurants can't be bothered with the messy job, and illegally dump it all into the sewers. There are no regulations for households. You can put any household waste into the sewers. Fortunately, we don't have turkey fryers in New Zealand. Some cities in the USA organize cooking oil collection services for the week after Thanksgiving. Tens of thousands of people bring their cooking oil that was used only once, to collection points. The collected oil is recycled. The other millions of people pour it down the sink. The fryer shown here has a volume of 25 litres. That's 2.5 bucketfuls. Fog causes blockages. Sometimes it gets on tree roots, mixes with sewer litter, and blocks your drains. It's no fun being without working drains. Sometimes the plumber can't get at it and has to dig up the garden, or has to dig a new trench so new pipes can be laid. Alternatively, the blockage can happen in the sewer pipe, the one just below your house. The sewage from you and your neighbours up the street builds up behind the blockage and overflows at the lowest exit point, by popping the manhole cover in the street, or flowing out of one of your gully traps, or out of your toilet. A metre-high fountain of sewage erupted from the toilet of a Devon couple. The eruption continued for half an hour, and flooded the couple's utility room, hall, sitting room, and dining room. They blamed South West Water for a complete lack of care and attention. When sewage overflows, the human waste and all the rubbish can come out in a large volume. At least some ends up in the stormwater drains. This is particularly so if it is a manhole cover in the street. Stormwater drains lead directly to the nearest stream or river. This photo shows the result of an overflow at Foxton, ending up in the Shannon River. Rivers flow to seas, and the rubbish floats around the sea or gets dumped onto a beach. Oil floats on water. So does fog on the sewage water. Here we have a choked sewer where the sewage filled the pipe to the top and eventually totally blocks up the entrance to the sewer. They have to break through the fog to get down there and fix the problem. The standard cleaning technique is a powerful water jet. Jetting is a normal part of maintaining sewers, but if the sewers were treated properly, it would never be needed. At the treatment plant, expensive machines skim off the fog. It must then be trucked off to landfill, where it should have gone in the first place. All extra, unnecessary costs. Sewer litter, which also shouldn't be in the sewers, is captured by other expensive machines. These filter out the bits, but they can't capture all of it. Cotton bud sticks are notorious in getting through, and blocking, filters, and backing strips and condoms, which are thin and flexible, often get through. Whatever gets through goes out of the outfall, into the river or sea. The rubbish that gets into the sea through stormwater drains and outfalls mostly floats. Fish can swallow it, thinking it might be food. It's not good for them. People swim through it. It's not good for them either. What isn't swallowed floats out to sea and joins the billions of other items littering the oceans, or ends up on a beach. So what can be done about it? Should anything be done about it? It costs you money, as a ratepayer, to buy and use the treatment plant's cleaning and filtering machines. They can't do a perfect job, and there will always be blockages and overflows, and rubbish will always get into the sea. This spoils our environment. The sea and its beaches, where you might go swimming or walking. The rivers, where you might go swimming or fishing. Or, if there is a blockage in your street or your house, you might be swimming in it there. What's needed is a national education campaign to show everyone that there is a big problem and that it has a simple solution. The solution is to stop putting fog and sewer litter into the sewers. Fog needs to be poured into a heat-resistant container instead of down the drain. Water cooks at 100 degrees, but oil cooks at 150 degrees or more. The Fat Trap, developed by Tina Pierce in collaboration with the UK water companies, is ideal. The Fat Trap is sold in New Zealand by Fogcatcher Limited. It's easy to do. Open the lid, pour in the oil, close the lid. When the container is full, the fog needs pouring into a scrap container, one that you'd be putting in the bag for landfill anyway. There are quite a number of possibilities. Then you wash out and reuse the Fat Trap. All sewer litter should go into the bag for landfill, with one or two exceptions. Old medicines, for example, should go into the local pharmacy for disposal. Fog and sewer litter are costing millions of New Zealand dollars every year. They are polluting the environment. Overflows cause terrible local damage, new floors, walls, fittings, or the death of wildlife in streams and the sea. This can all be avoided by telling people that there is a problem and that they should do things differently. One national campaign will change the ways of New Zealanders forever. All that people need to do is buy a Fat Trap or use something similar and put their rubbish directly into landfill. That's a small cost for each person and a big gain for the country. The New Zealand Herald of the 6th of January 2010 had an article stating that 29% of New Zealand's beaches, lakes and rivers had bacteria levels so high they were deemed unsafe. James Corbett, environmental scientist for Manukau City Council, said some areas are improving, and people must remember urban beaches will never have the same water quality as their rural counterparts. Co-leader of the Green Party, Russell Norman, said years of neglecting our sewerage infrastructure has taken its toll. We have underinvested in sewerage infrastructure in this country for years. The industry and politicians are of the opinion that the solution lies in better clean-up machinery. We at Fogcatcher call that an end-of-pipe solution. We believe the solution lies with pipe avoidance. Putting your rubbish into the landfill via the sewers is a dumb idea. It's time that the sewerage undertakers told the truth about the situation and asked that people do things differently. It's time they stopped putting up with people's rubbish